It's not always about the money. It's more the lifestyle that it gives you all these days off. You can spend
Yeah.
with family. If you can find a job as an airliner, you can always treat it as a hobby. If you want to fly it to whatever destinations you want in the U.S., you want to take family up, as long as you know what you're doing, you should be okay.
Most pilots don't understand what career opportunities are available in the world of aviation. They're making career decisions based on advice from friends or posts on internet forums, meaning they are taking huge risks with their livelihood without having all the details. This podcast was created to help you understand the aviation industry so you can find your dream job. Let's get ready for Pushback. Here's your host and my dad, Nick Fialka.
Hey, pilot, welcome back to Ready for Pushback. I'm Nick Fialka. It's great to have you today. My conversation is with a gentleman named Giuseppe Abbate, who is a wonderful, wonderful guy who had reached out to me. It's a great story about an immigrant who kind of had nothing, who moved around and found his place and decided he wanted to be a pilot and overcame a ton of obstacles just to get into the air. He's still in the middle of flight training and he's doing it, but Giuseppe is such an inspiration. If you know somebody that is trying to get to the U.S. and is trying to become a pilot, this is a great episode to share with them. Just a lot of tenacity and a lot of a refusal to take no for an answer. That's him. And I want that to be you, all right? Because all of the things that we do in aviation are hard and there are a lot of obstacles, but don't take no for an answer. Do what it takes to succeed, and that will help you be like Giuseppe. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for being part of the show. So let's sit back, relax. Let's get ready for Pushback. Hey, pilot, did you just get a new conditional job offer? Are you getting out of the military and going to move your family across the country? Are you going to move in base somewhere, or are you going to go out to find that second home that you've been looking for? Well, I want you to stop right now, pick up the phone, and call Marty and the team at Trident Home Loans. It's an organization that's run by pilots. They understand pilot pay. They understand contracts. They understand military. They have the best VA loans in the United States. Marty and his team have been doing mortgages for years. They've been doing my mortgages for years. I trust him and his team more than any other organization. I challenge you to get a better deal anywhere else. Go ahead, reach out, get a mortgage quote, and then call Marty and his team. They will walk you through the process and show you how competitive their rates are. So go right now, tridenthomeloans.com, and check them out. All right. Welcome, Giuseppe Abbate. Did I say it kind of close?
Yeah.
Listen,
That
man,
should be so funny.
you did a great job. That's an awesome name. I'm telling you.
Told my mom.
Yeah, tell your mom. That's right. Before we started recording, I asked him to say his name like 5 times so I wouldn't mess it up. But dude, you reached out to me on YouTube, I think, right?
Yeah, I sent you. I commented on one of your videos, and then I sent you an email with it was big email. Remember?
That's right.
So
You're
it was
Italian.
all kind of my story. Yeah. Born, raised, all of it you can think of.
All right. So your story, I loved your story about your path to becoming a pilot, right? And so you are Italian. Where were you born?
I was born in a little town called Partinico in Sicily.
All right. And how old are you right now?
Just turned 26 yesterday.
All right, dude. Still young. Still got it, crushing it.
No. I hate that number. I hate 26.
Try 46, buddy. It's it comes quick. It's all right. Okay, so how long have you been flying?
So I started my private in February, but there's been some ups and downs with weather, financials, getting married next year, moving out, moving in. So it's been ups and downs. But I'm leaning towards the end of my cross country portion, and I've done some solo flights to the practice area and back. and I just need to finish up those requirements, and then I'm flying and hopefully check ride within next month.
Man, you're crushing it. You're going, man.
Hopefully. I didn't want to get a loan because I've seen some terrible stories out there.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of risk for sure. So you've got to, you can either pay with time or money, and you got to choose one or the other. Talk to me. Are you flying in Italy? Where are you flying?
I'm in the US.
You're in the US. How did you tell me your story about, like, did you just move out here one day and fly out and decide you're going to start pilot training?
Well, so I was in Italy until I was 15.
Okay.
Then me and my dad, we moved to London.
Why did you guys move?
No, not 15. Sorry, 17.
Okay. Why were you guys
to London?
Why did you guys decide to leave Italy?
Because my dad lost his job back there. There was a robbery at the store where he worked at, and there was no cameras back then, 10, 12 years ago. And they robbed the store. They robbed the money that was in the cash register, and my dad had no proofs to show the manager that it wasn't him that stole the money. There was a robbery, but they never believed him. So they lost the job. Words went around, and he could never find a job for 7 years. So we just took whatever he could, ups and downs, and then he had a friend over in London, and he gave me and my dad a chance to move up there for a couple of months, try it out, and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best. English wasn't my proficiency, I guess, and we just moved along. And then we just sent money to my mom, my brothers.
What kind of jobs were you guys doing when you moved to London?
We were basically working in a farmhouse, like a warehouse, where we were picking like vegetables and peppers, all kinds of stuff. We would just pack it and send it to the big trucks, and then we just send it to the stores. It was crazy. It was so many people working there. It was just nonstop. I felt like I was a robot.
Yeah,
12 hours a day.
What?
But I hated it. Oh my god, I hated it.
Did you know you were moving there to pick vegetables?
Nope. My dad was like, "We're just moving to London to support our family. You know, you're the oldest one. You got to come up with me." And I'm like, "I guess so. Okay."
Were you also going to school, or were you just
No, I finished my high school in Italy at 17. So I'm like, should I go to college or should my dad? So it was kind of I chose of my parents, and went up there.
Was that? I mean, were you excited about that? Were you scared about that?
I wasn't scared. I knew I had to help my parents out because they were in need, and my brothers. I have two brothers younger than me. Now they're older, but back then they were like 13 and 8, little younger. But just leaving my mom, that was my biggest issue by herself. So it was 3 months of picking. And that's when I found out about the airliner that was hiring flight attendants.
Oh, so you decided to, like, how did you, a flight attendant job? So you thought you would just become a flight attendant instead of picking vegetables?
Well, basically what I did was when I took my first airliner flight out of Palermo to London, I fell in love with planes. Just taking off, I'm like, wow, what is this? So after 3 months of working at the warehouse, I saw this link on Facebook that Ryanair was hiring like crazy, like anybody, for flight attendant positions. My English wasn't the best, but I mean, I tried to apply, sent my resume. I got an interview a couple of weeks later, and I got accepted. As it was crazy. I
Well,
didn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a scam.
yeah, it sounds like a scam.
Yeah, but I got in.
Dude, okay. So, what is a Ryanair flight attendant interview like? What do you do?
Basically, so we were living with my dad in a condo, an apartment in London. So I had to take a taxi and then a train to Heathrow, London airport. I don't know if you heard of it. It's one of the biggest airports in
sure.
London.
Sure.
So the interview was there. There was so many people, so many different countries, so many Italians, so many Spanish, so many people from Irish. I mean, it's an Irish company. English, Turkish, whatever. There were so many people. So
Yeah.
there was other Italians that were worse than me, English wise. So I mean, the interview was pretty straightforward. I mean, I understand the questions. They were just asking me about why I want the position, why this airline. I was also young. I was 18. I think I was the youngest one in the interview center,
Wow.
whatever that was. But yeah, then I got accepted. Then 3 weeks later, I had to leave for the training back in Italy, in a town near Milan, Bergamo.
So,
And,
that was like what, 4.5 hours north of where you grew up? Maybe a little longer.
Yeah, it's near Milan.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to. It was like 8 of us that just rented a big house and we just living there for 6 weeks. It was the biggest fun of my life.
I bet. Plus, you're back in
Yeah.
Italy, so you're like connected. Like everybody
Oh,
probably
yeah.
leaned
There
on
was
you.
4 Italians and 2 Greek girls and 2 Spanish guys. It was fun.
Man, was the training difficult?
I mean, it was anything I've done before. I learned a lot. I had to learn the CPR. I had to learn our emergency procedures. I had to learn how to talk to customers, how to talk to, like, socialize with all the people that will come in the plane, how to socialize with your workers, be professional. It was a very different environment, but I really loved it.
Yeah, and so for people that don't know, Ryanair is a low-cost airline in Europe, and you guys, the Ryanair would cover most of Europe, and they offer really low prices for everybody, and so it makes it quick and easy for people just to jump on and jump off a plane and get
Yep.
around Europe. What was your experience like?
So they gave me as a first base Sardinia. So it's the island next to Sicily down
Right?
south. It was beautiful. I was there for the summertime from June to October. Then they moved me into Stansted, back to London. So that was awesome. I was flying 4 sectors a day, mostly, sometimes 2 sectors to Spain or longer flights. But every flight was packed with people because they wanted, Italy on vacation and stuff. It was I met a lot of people from different countries, met a lot of friends,
Yeah.
but money wasn't the best. That was the only issue.
Yeah, they don't pay very much. That is for sure. Doesn't
Yeah,
cost
because
very
I had to
much.
pay rent.
Yeah.
I own a house. I was also 18. I didn't want to have one fun.
Yeah, that's true. What did your dad think while you were doing that?
Well, my dad, no, he was happy about. He wanted me to what I want to do. Like he was proud of me. He was also by himself. He also had to take care of my family by himself.
Yeah.
Eventually, my mom and my brothers, they moved there. A couple months that I left, because they saw, I guess, my dad was making some money, support my family, so they moved up there, and they all started working. My brother went to college because he wanted to be a mechanic. My little brother, it was oh my god, it was so terrible. He was such a bad kid. He was going crazy all around the house at school. But and then so after Sardinia, they moved me to Stansted, back to London. So I Then eventually I went back to live with my parents. I didn't pay rent. But that was also a little bit of a commute. It was like 45 minutes train. And sometimes there was no train because crew control can call you at 4 in the morning for a flight at 6. So you'll live an hour to get to the airport when it's almost 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And I had to pay for a taxi. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
I hated
stressful.
that phone call.
Yeah, I bet. Timothy P. Pope is a certified financial planner dedicated to guiding professional pilots through smart financial planning. Whether it's saving for retirement, investment management, a seamless military transition, or strategic tax planning, Tim is your trusted financial partner. Also, you can join Tim as he leads engaging discussions on personal finance and strategies for professional pilots on the brand new Pilot Money podcast. Timothy P. Pope, helping professional pilots make the most out of life. So how long did you stay at Ryanair?
So I stayed at Ryanair until 2018 May. That's when they gave me 3 weeks of annual leave. And that's where I basically resigned and moved to New York.
Why did you decide to resign?
Because it was not enough money for me. There was no source of improvement. Like you can be like called number one. It's like the like one of the cabin crews is the first cabin crew, but they don't make much more depending on your location. London is very expensive to stay around, and with my salary, there's no chance I could move out of my parents' house at 20, 21. So I moved to the US where my family lives, like literally everybody on my mom's side. My dad's side, there's nobody, unfortunately, but then I moved back here 2018 in May, and things are a little bit different because I wasn't flying anymore. I was upset because my dream of becoming a pilot was never become true again.
Well, why did you come to the States? What was the draw?
The draw was my family always wanted us, as my immediate family, to live here with them. Because
and so help me track. You had everybody packed up from London and left to come to New York.
Yep.
And you guys went from like a small town in Italy to the most metropolitan city in Europe to the most metropolitan city in the United States.
Well, we landed in New York. We don't live in New York.
Oh,
we live in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Little less.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
Little less chaotic.
Yeah.
All right. Was it hard to get the visas and everything lined up to get to the States?
Yeah, because with the family and stuff, it took a little while.
Yeah.
But
so
we eventually got them all.
Is you said your mom had family here, or sisters and brother, got it. And so you used that family connection to apply for the visa.
Yeah.
Okay. 2018. It's 2024
yeah, it was
now.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Time flies.
Are you still on the visa?
Yes.
Yeah. How long do you have on the visa?
It's they're all residents now.
Okay. So you're kind of
all residents now.
You're kind of making your way forward.
Yeah, all residents now. Eventually citizenship.
All right.
2 years, hopefully.
2 years. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I still want to be in Italian citizenship. Hopefully they don't take that away.
Yeah. No, keep both of them always. You never know when you're going to need. Plus,
my dream is to work. Hopefully as a commercial airliner pilot in Italy. That was my dream.
Oh, okay. So you want to go work for whoever took over Air Italia?
Yeah, that was nice. Those planes are nice. Yeah, but my fiancée, she will get married next year, so she eventually has the chance to get her Italian citizenship through me. So that should work a little bit better.
Yeah. So right now you've been in the States for 6 years, but you've been flying for about 10 months now.
Yep.
And so what was the decision like to decide to go and just double down on flying and make it happen?
You mean like what did I decide now and 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, it was always about money. It was very I kept looking at it. It was very expensive, and at one point I thought I could never make it when I was around 23, 24. But then when I met my fiance almost 2 years ago now, we decided that we will pursue it. I will talk to her at the beginning of a relationship, and I said, that was always been my dream. I was a little flight attendant once, but maybe I can become something more important down the line.
Yeah.
And I mean, she agreed to it. She always told me, she was always my number one supporter. She was always said, whatever makes you happy. I know you're going to be gone for 15 days out of the month. Well, what are you going to do?
Hey, look, you can you can be gone 15 days out of the month, or you can work 20 something days a month, 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and work on the weekends. And so don't get me started about all that. Man.
I know. That's her biggest fear. Seeing me if something happens or missing, especially for new first offers. They all miss holidays. They all miss they're like on the bottom of the rock.
Hey man, my wife's birthday's in a couple days and I gotta fly. And all the holidays and everything else. And it just is. The good part about my company is I get if I fly on a major holiday like Christmas or Easter or there's a few of them, but I get an extra 5 hours of pay to fly on those days. So it's an extra day worth of pay just to do that. Yeah. And so
can't say no to
that. Well, yeah, that's the funny part, isn't it? It's it's what is this? What are these opportunities worth? And I'm sure somebody listening is like, well, the experiences that you miss not being there for Christmas or a birthday or something like that. I have found after many, many years being in the military and being gone and doing these things, the best part is when you are home, you're able to build more experiences with your family because you don't have any distractions. It's just you and your family, and you can do all of those things. And I love that because right before you and I were recording, I was with my wife and two of our kids, and we went and washed the car and vacuumed it, and everybody had a good time doing it, and that's awesome. And I get to be present to them for that, and I get a clean car. Thank God.
It's all about memories.
It is. We went down to Savannah, Georgia last weekend just for fun. Just, hey, I'm not flying. We're not doing anything. Let's just go. Yeah, dude. So it's all good. Tell me about the flight school experience. Has it been harder than you thought or easier than you thought, or just?
It's a Part 61 school, so it's just take whatever time you need. It can be as faster as a Part 141, or it can be slower. It depends on how often you fly.
Why did you choose a Part 61?
I mean, first of all, it's like 15 minutes from my house.
Okay.
It's very close. And I heard very good things about it. A friend of mine, so my fiancée, her friends, the husband is a captain for American. And that's where he went to school. That's where he started training 20 years ago. But that's where he went. So he recommended it for me.
Yeah.
And at the beginning was very challenging. Controlling that yoke was something.
It's a new something. It's that once you move into that third dimension of flying, right? That the two-dimensional part of driving is one thing, but when you start going up and down with it, it's just that complexity that you got to find that balance.
2 or 3 flights, my head didn't spin around the fact that you don't move the aircraft with the yoke, but the rudder pedals.
Oh.
And they just every time I would start, my instructor would look at me, and I would just move them. I was trying to move the plane with the yoke and not the rudder pedals. But eventually, I got the idea.
Yeah, you get the hang of it. That's awesome. Have the instructors been great?
Yeah, he's been okay. He's building the time, so you can tell. But
yeah, is he young like you?
Yeah, he's younger than me.
Oh man,
he's 23.
23. That's awesome.
I know.
A couple more hours.
I'm 26, and I look at him, and he's 23, and it's almost done. And I'm still learning.
That's all right. We all start. I talked to a guy the other day that's 57 and wants to start, and I'm like, let's go. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that I know that feeling about the fact that, oh, this guy is younger than me, and oh, this guy is gonna have more of an opportunity than I will, right? Like I'm 45 and I have been at my major since 2022, but the people that got hired before COVID that are in their 30s, they're going to be there for 30 something years. And the people and the girl Courtney in my class, she was 25 when she got hired. She's going to be there 40 however many years and is going to make millions and millions of dollars and way more millions than I'm ever going to make. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I was like, yeah, that's their path, but that's not my path, and that's okay, and that's a little different. So I don't know. That's a hard thing to get past in your mind, especially when somebody younger than you gets hired somewhere, right?
It's not always about. I don't think it's always about the money. It's more about the lifestyle that it gives you all these days off. You can spend with family. You're also away 10, 12 days a month. That's not so great part.
Yeah, it is what you make of it, right? So
there's always ups and downs of every job.
Yeah,
I think that's the best job you can ever have.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't compete with no office job. I could never.
Yeah, or you could start your own flight school and never sleep because everybody's always calling you about stuff.
Oh my God, I bet.
Hey, pilot. Does your pilot uniform make a short flight feel like a transcon slog? Flight uniforms have reinvented aviation shirts with 3D stretch, stain repellents, and no wrinkles. These shirts are just plain comfortable and ready for takeoff right out of your rollerboard. Flight Uniform is trusted by more than 25,000 pilots, and their flagship flight shirt has over 1,500 five-star reviews. I've worn every pilot shirt out there, and if you know me, you know I only wear flight uniforms. Be the envy of every cockpit at flightuniform.com and get a special podcast exclusive discount with the code SpitfirePod20 to take 20% off your first order at flightuniform.com. Tell me where are you with hours and when, like you just had an oral. And
I did state check oral for the cross country.
Yeah, and you crushed it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2 hours, so I finished in 35 minutes.
35 minutes, good job.
So all I've done is like groundwork because the weather was crap.
Yeah, so you're up on your groundwork right now.
I was up on my groundwork. I've been starting IFR stuff because I think I'm pretty okay with the private stuff. But
Good.
It's all different world.
Good. How many hours do you have?
46.
All right, you're close.
Yeah. I don't know how people get it done in 40. That's crazy.
Hey man, everybody's on their own pace. I couldn't do it in 40.
My fiance just got me a flight simulator with the Xbox Series. That was a nice gift.
Dude, that is such a good gift.
Yeah,
that'll be really.
She was like, I don't know what to get you, so I thought to myself, talk to your mom. Say, why don't you get him a flight simulator since he can't fly at all right now?
Yeah, but that's perfect. I mean, especially when it comes to your instrument stuff and all that, you can really practice all of the intercepts and all of the holding and all the maneuvers. That would be so good. I
I know
mean,
it
I
gives you
bet.
bad habits too. That's what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, better than
Well, I
no
guess I practice
habits.
a little bit. Yeah.
I've always thought whatever you can do to get in the mindset of, as long as you're doing the procedure correctly,
Mhm.
getting the reps as many times as you can, however you can, just puts you ahead. Yeah, maybe you'll have a bad habit, but if you're able to think ahead of the aircraft better, then you might as well use what you've got in front of you. So I don't know.
That was one of my biggest problems at the beginnings with training, staying ahead of the plane.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's all about staying ahead of the plane.
It's moving quick, huh?
Yeah, it's moving quick. You don't want it to take control over you.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing.
And then all of a sudden you're going to be like a couple more months down the line and you're going to be flying at 45,000 feet at, 0.83 or something.
I wish. Hopefully.
It'll happen quick, man. So how are you feeling about this time where I'm sure you hear that the airline industry is slowing down and all this stuff's happening. Are you nervous about that, or how you feel about that?
I mean, I've seen online that a lot of airliners are cutting on hirings, and even furloughing for some people.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be. That would be a problem. But I think like whenever I'll be eligible to get hired, hopefully things will change.
Yeah.
If someone wants to get this done, we'll just get it done. Eventually, work will come. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, all this money spent, that would be just a flying instructor. Hopefully.
Well, you can. The good part is if you're able to get a flight instructor job, like there you go. You've already got somebody you're already saving a little bit of money. You're getting your time. You're getting things faster, and you become that person that everybody else is looking for. So,
I would love to be a flight instructor. I see people teaching how to fly. I think it's the most beautiful thing you can do for other people. I wish you pay them a little more, but
yeah, I know, but it's so rewarding. So that's the beauty of it.
I hear a lot of people say that's where you will learn how to fly the most.
Yeah, because you're trying to keep yourself alive and the other person.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can get a job with the school I fly out. I think it's a little too early to talk about it yet, but hopefully, I'll get the word around.
Well, it might be a little too early to have the conversation, but it's not too early to be the best person you can be in front of them all the time and be, you've got that little cup of coffee you were drinking. Maybe you bring some illy coffee over there and make some coffee for everybody. But if you become important and you become indispensable, then they're going to hire you immediately because they know that you're great. But if you don't have a relationship with the rest of the people in the flight school, then they're going to keep you on the outside because they feel like you're keeping them on the outside. And
right.
So
okay.
the beauty of being from the southern part of Italy is it's all about family. Like family is everything in the southern part of Italy, and bring that with you to the flight school, and you will pay dividends. And it will work. One thing will lead to the next, it will lead to the next, and you'll just be rocking and rolling. But if you keep them
they've seen my family. When my first solo flight, I was so nervous. They were looking at me down on the side of the hangar. They were all there. My mom, my dad. I told them not to show up, but they come.
That's so sweet.
My shuttle was like, "Oh, they're here.
They're here."
Go ahead.
That's the most
most beautiful thing I've ever done.
God, I love that, man. Man, I bet your mom was crying. She's like,
"Oh my god, she was crying recording." It was like a movie.
That's so sweet.
Oh my god, I don't even want to get into it.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing, and to celebrate with your family is so good.
And she's still upset about this. Like, I want to pursue this.
Oh,
she's scared. She's scared of flying. She's like very scared of flying. So every time I go fly in the morning, she always calls me, and like even if I'm still on the plane, I'm like, I land at 10. Don't call me until 10. But she will just go with calls and nonstop. Oh my god.
Listen, one day, that's going to be you and your wife talking to your kid, and you're going to have the same feelings.
That's what she says all the time.
Yeah, it's true. You
One
just
day you're gonna
wait.
have kids, you gotta know the feeling.
Dude, it is so true. It is so true. I mean, my kiddos, I've always, it's funny, my oldest, he's really into mountain biking right now, and we put him on a team, and he's getting faster and he's getting better. And I still, I I still go and watch. I don't let him see me kind of watching him, but I watch from a distance, and I observe his capabilities and his growth and things like that. And then afterwards, he knows I'm in the vicinity, but he thinks I'm just talking to other pilots. But I come back to it, and I'm able to have the conversation with him about his excitement with it without stifling him. And so I love that. And that's your mom. Your mom's just worried about you because you're the oldest boy or the oldest child, period. Right. And so she just wants to hang on to her little buddy.
Yeah, but I'm like, Mom, 26. Just give me a break.
Listen, my mom's the same damn way. But that's good.
They never change.
They never change.
Don't know.
Listen,
if you go on YouTube and you plug in Italian mom's reactions, you know what they're like. She's like that.
That's awesome. I'm glad my mom doesn't know what I do. I feel like she knows I'm a pilot and an airline pilot, but she doesn't like keep track. And then all of a sudden something will pop up on a news feed that somebody had some kind of incident, and she'll say, "That wasn't you, was it?" No, Mom.
She saw the incident about the ATR in Brazil the other day.
Damn.
So she saw that, and she's been like, even more crazier. Like she wants me to stop and everything. I spent all this money.
Listen, just
my private. I'm like, I'm not stopping.
Just promise her you won't fly in icing in Brazil. That's
so if I start explaining stuff to her, then she doesn't understand because she thinks it can happen to anybody.
Yeah. You have a better chance of being attacked by a shark than you do of dying in a plane crash. So I would stay away from the beach instead.
Yeah.
So
I do. I'll never go anywhere. I don't have time.
Man. Well, dude, I'm excited for you. I think this is just amazing. I love your story. The fact that you basically came from nothing, having to help your dad and help your family survive, and to come to the point to where you get an opportunity to come here and jump into an aircraft. I feel like those are such different worlds that they just don't you can't put the two together. It's an amazing thing. Do you ever sit and reflect on that?
I mean, none of my family is a pilot. No one has ever thought about being a pilot. They're all scared of flying. They're all scared of heights. Some like the complete opposite. They think I was born some other way. Like there's something wrong with me. But I'm like, that's what I like. That's what I've always wanted to like. Even my fiance with last year for my birthday, she got me a skydiving jump from Baltimore.
Oh wow,
that was it. That was the best thing I ever done.
Oh my gosh,
it was so fearless at the first, but then once you jump, it just all the fears go away. And that's when I'm like, wow, I should be a pilot.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I mean, we jumped from 15,000 feet. We went through the clouds. I felt the rain, and then came back down.
Wild.
It was beautiful.
Wild. That's crazy. Well, it's a great career. It's a great job. The great people that you work with. It's, and it's like you said earlier, like if you love it, then it's like you don't even have to work. So that's where we are, man.
I do think also if you can find a job as an airliner, you can always treat it as a hobby. If you want to fly it to whatever destinations you want in the U.S., you want to take family up, as long as you know what you're doing, you should be okay.
Yeah, for sure. I would say there are always going to be opportunities, and it's your ability to be flexible, your ability to, like at some point your job's gonna make you have to move, just like when you moved at Ryanair and bounced around and got stationed other places. Keeping that flexibility and knowing that, hey, we're going to bounce around for a while, and at some point we'll be able to settle down. If you keep that in mind, it makes it way easier than if you're like, man, we have to only be in this one place for the rest of our life. Like that's what makes flying hard. But if you open your aperture, and then it just gives you the opportunity to do more and more things. So
I just think it's amazing. I went from a flight attendant to make pizzas now.
Yeah.
To try to fly again.
Well, don't stop making the pizzas.
No, I can't stop. I got to pay for my training.
That's awesome. Are you working at a pizza place now?
Yeah.
Is it you doing like some Neapolitan style pizza? Are you doing like New York style pizza? What kind of pizza are you doing?
We do the big pizzas.
Oh yeah.
It's 28 inches.
That's not very Italian of you.
I know, but that's what I found.
That's so good.
Still pizza.
Yeah, it's still pizza. Man, that's awesome. We had some last night. Dude, Giuseppe, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being part of the show. I just am so excited that you tell your story. It's such a beautiful one, and I know that great things are coming for you. And I'm just thankful that you would reach out and chat with us.
Yeah, thank you. It was an honor.
All right, pilots, that's a wrap on this episode, and I know what you're thinking. You need to make yourself a little bit better. So how do you make yourself a little bit better? You tighten up your resume. So here's what I want you to do. Go over to my website, spitfireelite.com/podcast, and you can download my free resume template. It is tight, organized, and it's the perfect pilot resume. It's just something I like to do for the pilot group, and it is free to you. So go over there, spitfireelite.com/podcast, and download your free resume template. While you're over there, look at all the services that we offer. Lots of great interview prep, lots of great application review. Everything you need to be a professional pilot is right there. spitfireelite.com/podcast. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next episode.